So what you want to do, Claire, set them up as if they were individuals. So each one's going to
Yeah.
have their own pin and their own resistor, and they're all going to go to ground. So like you would be doing the same thing that you did for the first one. So let's say you hook up one to pin 13, then you hook up another one to pin 12, and then you hook up one to pin 11. And then you would initialize them all in your code on the setup and then the loop.
Should I go like this?
No,
No,
so
no, no.
they have to go by themselves.
Row 6. Put it on horizontally on row 6.
And then a cable from like pin 12 into that one. So
Uh.
that one would go to ground. That one would go to ground.
That would ground.
Yeah. So you can just hook it up there. Yeah.
Oh,
And
you guys
then
want me to create separate ones? I was gonna make all one.
No. Yeah. So we want to control each one separately.
Okay.
Instead of all three at the same time.
All right. Now I understand.
And how about you turn those wires black so the students understand?
Of course. Just give me one moment. All right. Dang.
That is so funny. It looks like it's
so just to like add on to that. So this would be you running kind of not exactly, but you're running all of them sort of in parallel because they're all going to be getting the same voltage. Yeah. If you had done it the other way, you'd be running them in series, and so that way you can't control the like turning them off and turning them off because they'd all be getting the same current.
Oh, I think you accidentally clicked on another one.
Okay. Black.
And I think for organization purposes here, we could do the power coming from the pin 12 to be like yellow for the yellow LED and then green for the green LED.
Okay, so like this?
No. So hook it up to pin 12. That one would hook it up to pin 12. So on the actual Arduino.
You're right. Yeah, it's a pin 12. So it's like each one is going to be its own little setup, like how we did before. Yeah. So however you want to organize it to 12. And now you're getting an idea of what like printed circuit board design is like. And let's connect this guy to 11. Let's do 11.
11?
Yeah.
Could have been the Italian or the Mexican flag if the middle one had been white.
White. And then dang, maybe that could be the last thing. It would show them how we can do one LED that has like the 3 integrated.
Yeah, so that one there you have to use. I think you have to use a tilde one because it requires an analog signal for that. But
oh shoot, only one light works.
Well,
yeah, because we need to fix the code.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So all right, so let's just make sure that y'all are with us. Once you create that circuit, we're gonna in the setup turn on each pin 13, 12, and 11 to output voltage. So you need to
you wrote a PID mode on the second line 4, Claire.
PID.
That might be a typo, yeah.
So one of the things about programming, let's kind of address some of the issues if you've never programmed before, is that you typically have to be very exact. It's kind of like if you guys know about Reddit and grammar Nazis, if you make one small little typo in a Reddit comment, man, the grammar Nazis come down and like berate you. But in code, your code will straight up not work if you make small typing errors. And you know how we in English we typically terminate a sentence or a statement with a period? We do the same thing, except we will use a semicolon to terminate an expression in Arduino code.
All right, I'm gonna make my yellow light like half a fraction of
Yeah, you can make them blink faster.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, another idea would be what? Then you can use a proximity sensor, and you can incorporate this, so you could actually make like your own little light, where let's say you walk by, um, and it detects you, and then it tells you to stop, and then you wait.
Okay,
5
here
seconds.
I think this is a big question for everybody. Quiz, pop quiz, mother lovers. Okay, before you run the code, are all 3 lights going to turn on at the same time, or will one turn on at a time? Pop quiz. Will all 3 turn on at the same time, or will one turn on at a time?
I think they're all turned on at the same time, but different.
Different
like,
speeds?
yeah.
Okay,
Delays.
let's see. Santiago says, nope, one at a time.
Oh, right.
It's one at a time. So you got to think about it. These instructions are going, yeah, look at the order of the commands or the expressions inside of the loop. Now, okay, I was expecting that they were going to turn on one at a time. Now, my question for you guys is, how can we change the code so all 3 of them turn on at the same time and blink with the same pattern? You know, maybe give them a second. I know how I'm gonna do it. Give them a second now. See if you guys can change the code so instead of them turning on one at a time, all 3 of them turn on at the same time. Like turn on and turn off at the same time. Ooh, I like the 3 high lines together, then the 3 low lines. Yes. All right.
See what happens when we do that.
All right, so it will put, instead of, we'll put all the high lines together. So, yep.
Even then, you could make a method for turn all on, turn all off.
Yeah, oh, hey,
Yeah.
whoa, we're not gonna get into functional programming just yet. And like I said, baby, we really want to make this super introductory.
Yeah. So next workshop, hopefully, you know, we can get down to messing with some motors, some sensors, you know, once you're a little more comfortable.
Yeah, so I know what you meant, Santiago, but I want to see, like, you're still going to see that there's a difference between what Claire's doing and kind of what I asked for. So keep doing what you're doing, Claire, and run it. They're still not all turning on simultaneously. So I think Santiago sees what you need to do.
You should change the delay, right?
Yeah, exactly. We should turn them all on and then delay. You were turning one on, delay. Turning on another, delay. Turning on the next, delay. And then you were turning off, delay. Turn off, delay. Turn off, delay. So there you go. And we only need 1 delay.
Right. I'll just, okay. So the forward bracket.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good one to teach right now.
Yeah, super useful for comments. You always want to put comments for yourself, for other people. It just keeps things organized so you know what you're doing. Because as code compounds, you know, things get lost. So here we go.
I mean, I think one of the best things you can do for yourself is like look at the code that you wrote a long time ago.
Try and understand it.
Try to understand it.
Okay. Sick. So,
are they turning off?
So it did. I think it just froze, maybe.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I see the second. It was like at 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Cool.
But turn it back on. Blink together.
Yeah, the second thing is going so slow. Look at that.
Oh, here. I don't need.
I think it's because like it needs to go the 3 digital writes high, then you keep them on for half a second, and then.
No. I think her computer's just running real slow. Look, 1 second has barely passed according to the simulator.
No, but it says digital write 13 low, and it says delay, then digital write 2.
Oh, yeah. They're just going to turn off, not simultaneously. The red one's going to turn off, then the yellow one. So again, if you want them to turn on and turn off simultaneously, then you should put those digital write lows one after the other, like you did with the highs.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna hide them. In the meantime, you don't have to delete them.
You still need one delay though. That way it could be off for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. So we're leaving this one. Okay. So
That looks good.
start.
On, up, on, off. Hey, all right. So I think that's that's one of the things that you need to kind of understand as you're writing the code. I think that my students, when they first start learning code, they kind of tend to think that they have their expectations of what the code is going to do in their head, and it's different from the reality, you know, or exactly how you wrote it. So it's very order based. Like the order in which you write things is pretty much
Top to bottom.
Yeah, you know, sometimes like that's why I didn't want to get into functional programming, because you'll call a function, it'll send you somewhere else in the code, you do those instructions, and then you come back. So right now it's very nice that you just see do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And yeah, your what you expect is different from what you actually get. So I think by analyzing what you're getting and how the code produces that is really when you start to understand what the code is doing. Cool. So I think for today, that's all. I think that we accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
Good stuff, guys.
Sweet.
Yeah, you can make your own traffic light or racing lights if you think about it too. Like, because that's kind of what I was thinking about. Like, you know, when they have the drag races, it'll like all of them will turn on, and then like they'll blink like 1, 2, and then it'll go like red, red, yellow, yellow, green, go. So
Yeah.
sometimes you want all of them on at the same time. Other times you want to stagger them. But that is really cool.
I'm just curious. Like, you guys, you know, when you guys drive around and see this big block of box by the traffic lights, is it like a big Arduino probably? Because
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's like they open it up and it's all these wires and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah. I'm not super familiar with it. I know back in the day, it probably was a lot closer to Arduinos, but now I think they are networked, especially like in newer developments. So they can control them. It's probably a little bit more complicated than an Arduino, but I mean, the concepts are the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Arduino is more for like educational purposes. You know, introductory. Like I mentioned before, there's a lot of other companies that provide microcontrollers that are a little easier to mount and more feasible. So I found this website. I don't know if Raul, you use other ones, but you know, you can look up online kind of Arduino tutorials. So this one is just blinking LED. You know, it gives you a diagram of what the circuit board is supposed to look like, and then gives you the code. So you can look at the code. You know, if there's something that you're interested in doing, but you don't know where to start. They have loops. You know, you can create, like we did, different types of lights. Here's fading LEDs, keyboard, logout messages. You can create sounds. Here we have the sensors, humidity sensor, temperature sensor, water detector. So, you know, there's some really cool applications that you can do with these microcontrollers.
How about I show them some of my projects that
Yes,
I've done in the past?
please.
All right, I can start sharing my screen. Sorry, like these are old projects that I have. That's kind of the code. And then, so I gave you a number, 7, and this game, you have to turn on the lights to represent 7 in binary. So 0, 1, 1, 1, and then If you got it right, you are correct. Let me just kind of show you if I got it wrong. So I'd give you a number. In this case, 10, you have to represent 10 in binary. And I think I'm gonna get it wrong right here. That's 3 actually in binary. And so, sorry, that's not correct. Please try again. So I think I even created, I'm not sure how many of you guys remember the game Simon Says, but it's pretty much like 4 little LEDs, and it's like you just have to guess, well, not guess, but it gives you a sequence, and the sequence gets longer and longer and longer until, like, you know, you really just run out of brain memory to remember the sequence. But let me see the solar tracker, theremin. Oh, do I have the theremin?
That's cool.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear the sound from these videos.
The instrument, right?
Yeah, so this one, can you guys hear that?
It sounds like a little like screaming mouse.
Yeah, so that little sensor right there is photosistor. So the resistance changes. Sorry, that's really annoying. The resistance changes based on the number of photons that it's collecting. So that's another project that I did, and let me see, maybe.
Where do you get all this stuff, like the materials that you use, Professor?
Oh, so that's what we're gonna, I can share some websites with you guys. Arduino's an Italian company, and so, but really they make their stuff open source. The only thing that I don't like about, I would buy from Arduino if you could. It's just hard to come by because they're imported. There's a company called SparkFun. The only thing that I don't like about SparkFun is that they use Chinese manufacturers to make their parts. Same Arduino, everything like that. Like we said, it's open source. Like Arduino didn't like say, no, you can't use our designs. They say anybody can use our designs. So I would recommend Adafruit. It's a New York company, and they don't reproduce these Arduinos, but they have something called the Metro, which is pretty much the same chip. And it's an Arduino clone, kind of. So I would recommend Adafruit, after Lady Ada. She's actually a badass lady back in the like 18 or 1700s. So what you're looking at here is a GPS. I actually put a GPS sensor on here, and you can kind of see my location. When I walk 30 feet away from the starting point, which is going to happen pretty soon here. This is in the old 390 building, if you guys remember that. So once I walk far enough away, it says, out of range. And then the red light means that you are out of range. And once you return within range, so maybe it's kind of like a, what do they call those? A Jeep, they actually call it something where you kind of search things, just given GPS coordinates. So
geocaching.
Geocaching, yes, there we go, geocaching. So that can kind of be used for geocaching and stuff like that. So you can kind of put a little like Arduino inside of a tin can, and maybe somebody can find it. So there's a lot of things that you can do. It's hard to see on that one, but that one even had like an SD card reader. So I could also get GPS coordinates or GPS data and store it to an SD card. So you could, Arduinos are really popular for like weather balloons, for like student groups to create kind of like telemetry stuff on rockets or weather balloons. So there's honestly, there's so much that you can do with an Arduino, but it will have its limits. If you guys want to buy stuff, again, I would recommend that you guys buy from Adafruit because they're a US manufacturer rather than SparkFun. But we got a ton of stuff. If you guys are super interested on this, then I'm going to work with Murad, the director of the Mesa Center, and hopefully get some, we're already working on getting you guys the Arduinos, but extra sensors, extra wires, LEDs, motors, all the goodies that come along with Arduinos. That way you guys don't have to buy them. We got them. We got a ton. So cool. Let me just stop my sharing. Outro.
That's it. I mean, I had part of my slide as an outro, but
Yeah, let's see it.
oh, it's nothing. It's not nice.
Just a thank you.
Literally.
Yeah, so I think what other resources can we give them? So you saw Tinkercad, it's great. You can get started. You don't have to buy anything. But I would recommend Adafruit. It is a good US manufacturer. And then Tutorials Point is a good one if you want to learn, especially the coding aspect of it.